preface this by saying I used to show up at these events and my number one thought was, I do not belong here. I do not belong here. And then I would feel like I didn't belong here and I would behave like I don't belong here. I would probably give off the vibe that I don't want to interact with people because had that sort of energy about me. So I completely changed that. And now I think I totally belong here. These are my people. And I just go over and I say, I just keep that thought in mind. And so if I don't know someone, if I see a new face, I'll walk over to them. I'll say, hey, I'm Hélene. Nice to meet you. I haven't seen you around here before. Are you new? I've been out of this for a while, so maybe you're not. But I just wanted to, just introduce myself. And what I found that has really made people. I've made a lot of new friends that way, which has been really great. The other thing I love doing is complimenting people on their dogs. I think a lot of humans struggle to accept when if you say, oh, they're like, oh, that was awful. And you're like, no, here are the things that you did well. And I like to do that. But I find people often struggle to receive compliments. But if you talk about how great their dog is, they're in the moment. So for instance, I was at a clinic earlier this year, and this woman was working with her dog, and it was a complete train wreck. It was her dog was gripping and busting up the sheep, and the instructor had to get in there and stop things. And she came up and you could just see, like her lip was quivering, her eyes were like, filled up. So I gave her a little space. I didn't like jump on her right at that moment. She took her dog out, and then I don't know, maybe a little half an hour later, I went over to her and I just said, hey, I said, I know that was a little bit not probably what you were hoping for, but this is what I saw in your dog. I could see like the talent there. And your dog has beautiful movement. And I just pointed out a couple of things that I really liked about what I saw in the dog. And her whole body language completely changed. And then we just went from there. And then at the herding world, you ask somebody about your dog's breeding. And then and then they puff up like a peacock and they love to talk about their dog breeding. I know in other sports that doesn't seem to be a thing, but in the herding world, it's like the biggest compliment if you ask somebody about their dog's breeding. So anyway, so those are things as an experienced handler that I am adopting and I'm doing very, very intentionally now. But as a newbie competitor, the recommendation that I would make is start your mindset training now. One of the things that I have encountered, because I am a mindset coach. I see so many people who are like, I don't need that now. When my dog is trained and I'm competing at higher levels, that's when I need it. And I would encourage everybody to start studying the mental management side of things, like from day one, because no matter how good your dog skills are, if you are a hot mess, you're not going to be able to execute and work with your dog. So, and it takes a long time to develop. It's like, it's going to the gym for your brain. And you can't start it too soon and you can't practice it too often. So it's something that we don't talk enough about in sports. If you go into like human sports, that is something that gets built in very early on. We really need to be building that into dog sports because it is vital. And some people have it more naturally than others, but it's a really important skill to develop. And so I would love to see more, I would love to see all new handlers learn it through, books, take courses, get coaching, whatever, find your path, get started on that like yesterday.
All right, Barbara.